Welcome back to Elevation 44. I'm B. If you're new, welcome to the channel. If you're returning, welcome back, family. We are getting into another weekly astrology report because that's what we do on Mondays here on this channel, okay? So if you're new to the channel, these weekly astrology reports are designed to bring you the most important information that's happening transit-wise in the stars, as above, so below, right? So we're just giving you the most important things that you need to know for the week so that you know how to navigate this energy. And I'm just gonna jump right into it, okay? There is a lot of movement that is about to be happening over the next few weeks. This week starts off some of that movement. So some of the things that we're gonna be talking about in this particular video are the sun, which is going to be moving into Scorpio at the end of the week. We also have Lilith that is moving into Taurus. So we're going to talk about Lilith moving, and then we're going to talk about Venus and what Venus is doing with these Capricorn planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, okay? So that is what we're going to get into for this video. And let's just talk about it, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about is the sun. And like I mentioned, the sun's going to be moving into the sign of Scorpio at the end of the week. The sun has been in Libra for the past couple of weeks. And the sun, which is our self, our outer self mostly, and how we're integrated into this world and how we make our impact in the world. It's been in Libra, so we've been very focused on justice, fairness, balance, bringing in peace and harmony and relationships and relating to others and all of that good stuff, and our, you know, in a more deeper sense, our values, kind of just analyzing a lot of the things that are happening in our life and their role in our life and the people in our life and their role in our life and how we should fill our cups and how we should fill others' cups and how to navigate all of this good stuff. And that is kind of like, we've just been doing this balancing act for the past couple of weeks, right? And then this Libra new moon that came in kind of helped us refine, you know, and fine tune and said, hey, these are the gaps that we, you know, recognize, and this is where I can set some intentions on how to change these things going forward so I can have permanent, long-lasting balance. Now, before moving into now Scorpio, Libra is also going to be making a hard square with Saturn and Capricorn this week. And this hard square just means a lot of tension between the sun in Libra and Saturn in Capricorn. So what we can be feeling as a result of this, before this movement, this final push goes into Scorpio, we could be feeling, you know, this highlights feeling burdened with responsibility or restricted in a lot of ways. It can even highlight tension with authority figures, whether that be, you know, the people that you work for, like your bosses, your managers, your supervisors, those type of people, or even authority figures in your personal life, your parental figures, or, you know, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, people who raised you, that type of thing, or, you know, anyone of that matter. It could also be authority figures outside of those two different realms. So it could be, you know, people in an authoritative type role, you know, police, government officers, you know, anything of that nature, okay? So there can be tension with authority figures in that manner, okay? This is also an energy that can make you, you know, be in a bad mood, feel prone to pessimistic thoughts or negative thoughts, and put you kind of more in a depressive state. So if you're already feeling like the tension and the heaviness of all the energy that's in the air in general, because we still got that Mars retrograde happening, we still have that tension with Mars and all the Capricorn planets. So there's still a lot of heavy tension in the air. So if you are feeling this on top of that, just know that this is actually going to be more of a quicker moving transit, so it's not going to be as heavy or last as long as some of the other transits, okay? So with that said, after that happens, right, and we move that on out the way, the sun is then moving into Scorpio on Friday, okay? So the change in this energy is an intensity, okay? It goes from that peaceful, you know, balancing, harmonizing, I'm all about others and just wanting to pour in and just, you know what I mean? Just be at this place in my life. It kind of goes into this more intense energy. It's really like completely flipping the mattress and seeing the other side, right? And this energy is all about, like I said, intensity. It's about power, passion, emotion, secrecy. It's about not just emotion, but like the deep parts of your emotion. With Mercury being in Scorpio, I'm sure a lot of you, myself included, can attest to like just going into the emotional depths of self, you know, because those retrogrades cause you to kind of go within and reflect and just pull up emotions and thoughts and, you know, putting things to words or in writing, or just really putting words around things that you're feeling so deeply inside, and just tapping into that deep intuitive nature of self. So that's a lot of what this Scorpio energy is going to be bringing into as the sun moves into Scorpio. It's just going to be doubling down and highlighting that, okay? So this is a very transformative energy, and when it's properly channeled, it can be beautiful, okay? This is all about endings, but then new beginnings. That's that transformation, okay? But if it is not channeled properly, it can be very, very destructive, okay? Because this energy, the flip side of it is control, manipulation, revenge, like, you know, that Scorpio energy can get dark. That Scorpio energy can get nasty, okay? Like, it can be a very, very beautiful energy, but then, you know, it's represented by the scorpion, okay? That stinger is there for a reason, okay? So you don't bother it. It goes about its business. It leaves you alone, but you go messing with it, poking with it, prodding, that stinger comes out, and you know you're gonna get it, okay? So that is what I wanted to make sure that you highlight on both sides energy-wise. Now, what is this energy going to be best used for while the sun is in Scorpio? We talked a lot about how Mercury is about to, you know, because Mercury is all about our communication, it's all about our intellect and all of that good stuff, how we reason, our logic. It was talking about going to the depths, going into underneath the surface and pulling all of that stuff up, right? And bringing everything to light in a way, right? And just uncovering stuff, uncovering truths, uncovering deep emotional things, just pretty much airing everything out. That is literally what the Mercury, you know, in Scorpio, and then even doubling down that retrograde in Scorpio, what that's been doing. Now with the sun, the being there, it's just putting more on an emphasis on that, not only individually, but collectively, and then it's conjuncting because the sun and Mercury are going to be in Scorpio at the same time. It really is going to be a blending of those energies to really uncover what's hidden, what's beneath the surface, because Scorpio energy is also about the psyche, right? It's about why people do what they do, the deeper meaning behind things, the motivation. That's what that Scorpio energy wants to understand. That's what that Scorpio energy wants to uncover. So it really is like expanding on this, okay? So with the sun and Mercury conjuncting and blending its forces in Scorpio, it's highlighting our thinking and communications. Our perception is heightened, and you know, we're questioning a lot, and we're digging beneath the surface to discover the truth. So that's what this energy really is focused on. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is Venus, okay? And Venus, which is in Virgo right now, Venus is our, you know, our love, it's our values, it also rules our money, our wealth, our material possessions, our relationships, our beauty, all of that good stuff. This is Venus energy. Now, Venus has been in Virgo, and Virgo, it is all about the details. It's all about hyper focusing and analyzing and getting, you know, to a place where we are almost in a perfection mode. Like, this is what I want. I'm not settling for anything less than this. And I'm hyper focused on getting it exactly this way, this perfect way. And these are all the details that I'm hashing out to make sure that it's right. Okay. So when it is trining now the Capricorn planet, so it's having a harmonious conversation with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, which have all been hanging out in the sign of Capricorn for the entire 2020. We're talking about hyper-focusing on our values, our money, possessions, our relationships, but this is a great time of increase in those areas and getting into the details of increasing those areas, okay? So it's a great time for focusing on our increase in finances and wealth, our relationships, our business partnerships, and all of that good stuff, because that Capricorn energy is about business, okay? It's about business. It's about how we work and our contribution, to the world in that type of way. So when it is in this, in this sign, these planets in this sign, and they are having this harmonious conversation with Venus in that way, it's giving us an opportunity to really expand on those things and to get into the details and to really focus and to bring those things in, call those things into us. The only thing that I want to say is that we have to watch for being impulsive and making impulsive decisions, during this time. You want to make sure that you're not so Virgo heavy, in the sense that you get so wrapped up and caught in on the details that you never take any action and never make any moves, or things have to be this perfect before you make any decisions. But on the flip side of that, you don't want to be impulsive and not be paying attention and taking your time and all that good stuff. So just make sure that you find some balance in those areas, okay? The last thing that we're going to be talking about that is, I feel like, major for the week is that Black Moon Lilith is moving into Taurus, okay? So Black Moon Lilith, and Lilith is not something I think a lot of astrologers really talk about. I know we talked about it a little bit in previous weeks, but we don't really go into the depths of it. But just on the surface level, Lilith is our primal nature, okay? It is our deepest desires, our deepest fears, both our deepest desires and our deepest fears being highlighted at once, okay? It's that instinctual primal force that drives each one of us, okay? So in Aries, where Lilith was, or is still currently in Aries and will be moving into Taurus this week, but this energy of Aries was very, I would say, all about extremes, okay? Like, again, it's either our deepest desires or our deepest fears coming to the surface with Lilith. But this energy in Aries made it extreme, extreme to like extreme supreme, right? So we're talking about a fiery nature of that Aries energy, making Lilith aggressive, assertive, and very dominant. It was all about getting what you want at any cost necessary, and that often meant to controlling people through aggression, violence, or whatever, or even being on the receiving end of that. So you could either have been displaying this yourself, or you could have been on the receptive end of people's aggression and controlling nature and just trying to dominate, and control you. So that is literally what Lilith has been highlighting in Aries while it was there. And now with it moving into Taurus, we're talking about a focus that's shifting more onto our material possessions. Here we go again with the values and our material and our wealth and all that good stuff, but then also our pleasure, okay? Because Taurus is that, it's that sensual energy. It's all about pleasure as well as the value that we place in things and our wealth and our money and all of that good stuff. Now, this can be translated two ways. The first way that we can read this energy is overindulgence, okay? So we can, again, because Lilith can be extremes, right? In the sense of deepest desires and deepest fears. So one way is that we can be fearful in this particular realm in terms of our pleasure and our material possessions, in the sense that we can get into a scarcity mindset, right? And go overboard. So everything is an overindulgence, okay? A greed for money, love, collecting possessions, again, doubling down on that scarcity mindset, and they're not being enough, so we just have to hoard. We have to have more. It's never enough, right? And then there's a possessiveness and a laziness that can come in with this quality of, this extreme. Then on the other end, it could be on the flip side, kind of like being very, very detached and rejecting that stuff, rejecting pleasure, feeling guilty about having any type of pleasure, you know, also feeling guilty about having material items, so rejecting, you know, anything material, rejecting money, having, you know, just kind of like an off-putting nature about those things. So, you know, wanting to enjoy these things or have these things makes you feel some type of guilt. So the thing about Lilith, the best way that you can utilize Lilith's energy is to come into a balance, understanding what your extremes could be on either side or the other, and trying to find a balance to come in between, because it is nice to have things. It is nice to feel pleasure. You don't want to overindulge and you don't want to underindulge, right? You want to find a balance with these things. So it's all about finding that healthy balance with Lilith. So overall for the week, the positives are we're gonna have, there's gonna be a deepening of our emotional depths so that we can uncover and perceive things. This is a great transformative energy, so just a good time to work on transformation. Also a good time for working on increasing the money, your partnerships, your relationships, and finding a balance with the material possessions and pleasure, okay? Some of the challenges for the week are you could be feeling tested and challenged during this time, especially from authority figures, and feeling just weighed down with responsibility or burdens. You can also be pessimistic or in a bad mood this week. Control and manipulation is still going to be very, very high on the list. We're saying that every week, and it's still there this week. And then there's still an unpredictable nature to the energy that is happening right now, okay? So the herb that I would recommend you working with this week is lemon balm, and lemon balm is just very emotionally cleansing, and it is calming, okay? Just something to lull you this week, all right? Especially if you are, you know, kind of more on the bad mood side of things, okay? And then the crystal that I would recommend you working with this week is a labradorite, okay? And this is a powerful protection crystal, but it's also the stone of, it's called the stone of magic. It's also called the stone of transformation, and it helps to temper negativity, okay? So as we're working through a lot of things, you know, we're seeing a lot of things ending and new beginnings coming about. To allow those things to end, you know, sometimes it's hard to let go. It's hard to trust the process or whatever. So that labradorite will help you to just embrace that transformation, to embrace those endings, so that those new beginnings can come about, because we can't get the new if we don't let go of the old, all right? And so that is it. So let me know again in the comments down below how you are, you know, coping with this energy. I want to know what you're looking forward to in Scorpio season, all right? Scorpio season is going to be real illuminating, I feel like, and there's a lot of things ending, like I said, for a lot of people, and collectively there are a lot of endings happening. So just let me know in the comments down below what you're looking forward to, or maybe not looking forward to, okay? So I will see you all in the next video. Peace.